Ever have, what do you let it tell you about yourself? If you're like me, you've let it say, I'm a failure. Look at all these things I haven't got done. But I'm working on letting it tell me something different. And so I'm going to walk you through that process today and we'll see how it goes. All right. So I was getting ready for a call and waiting for the person to come, and then it became apparent that they weren't going to come, and I was letting that tell me something. And so I realized, like, okay, I'm sitting here in this quiet space, I'm going to talk to the Lord about this. And as I was waiting, of course, I'm sitting by my messy desk, but I had my camera set up so you couldn't see that, and was like, so I'm looking at all this stuff on my desk, and as I'm feeling discouraged as I look at the abundance of piles of paper on my desk, and it tells me I'm not doing well. And in part of that, I meant like I need different habits and systems in place so that the desk gets cleaned on a regular basis and everything has a home. So that's part of it. But I also wanted to talk about like the emotional part. What am I letting it tell me? So I'm like, flip what's going on. I see the piles, and the automatic reaction, my automatic thought is, I'm not doing well. I'm failing. Like I tried that and I tried that. And, you'll see, there's like Christmas cards that never got sent, and Christmas letters that never got sent, and organizing projects that did one day and then it sits there, and you'll see. So I can look at all that and just failed, and it's so discouraging. I'm not getting better. However, I can flip it. So the piles of paper are telling me I'm not taking care of myself and I'm putting off making decisions. True. So those are things I need to deal with in the habits and systems. But instead of seeing failures, I can see ideas that I now know don't or didn't work in this season. And it's evidence that I'm trying things. So not just like, it's just life and it's a mess. No, I'm trying things. I just haven't necessarily found what's working, or I haven't practiced it long enough yet. And giving myself permission. I can decide that something didn't work and get rid of it, or I can make a place for it. And then I can trust that if it's an idea I will need in the future, whether I keep it or not, the Lord will remind me about it and bring it back to me. So I don't have to feel like I need to keep everything because I might need it, or I want to remember this. And like, it's a really good idea. There's all kinds of really good ideas. I just watched a video yesterday where a lady took a planner that had the days this way, like you see the whole week on a spread, but it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She did every single day in a different layout. They're all good ideas. Am I going to do 7 different layouts for my day? No. You can pick the one that works for that day, or the one that works for this season, and no guilt, no pressure that I didn't do the other 6. So I don't need to keep something just because it's a good idea. I guess what I'm saying. And so to start, I have my prayer journal. It has a home. It rarely makes it there, but it has a home right over here. So I'm going to stand it right over there where it belongs. And then hopefully, I'm not good at video, but I'm hoping that as I go through stuff, like I'll grab things from here and bring them over and kind of tell you the story it's been telling me and how I'm going to flip it to the story I want to be telling myself. Okay, so this pile of papers, you probably can't, like, it's a schedule because I printed it off because I was going to create like the ideal schedule for my week. And the reality is that's just not working. in this season. I think I'm getting closer. But right now, sleep is still a big issue. So if I can sleep, I sleep. And that means I don't get up at the same time every day. And that means making a daily routine doesn't work well. So this is just not working right now. And I'm going to put this notebook because that's actually where I would look for it when I'm ready. And I'm really hoping like in the next week or two, I'll be ready. Then it looks like this is all kind of my brainstorming to try and get organized, and scratch paper. I love scratch paper. So these ideas, again, I can say like, oh, I look at this and, oh, I had this, like I had it all organized. Have I remembered any of this? Have I put any of this into practice? I have a little bit, so I can give myself credit for that. But then I also can look and go, okay, but I was trying. I put in the effort to say, this is what I want life to look like. And if we look at it like learning to ride a bike, if we get on the bike and we fall over, then we could set the bike aside and be like, I'm a failure. Every time I see that, I'm just going to remember that I fell down and I'm a failure. Or we can be like, oh, the bike, I should practice again. I should try that again. I need some more practice at that. So looking at the organizing instead of, how many hundreds of times have I written this basically same list? And that like, I'm just no good at that, or I need some more practice. And in my case, like this list is actually a lot different than the lists I've made in the past, because this time I was using the 4-burner theory, which I can't remember who came up with that. I heard it from Dawn the Minimal Mom, where just to simplify in the season I'm in, there's home, there's health, there's work or business, and friends. Those are the only 4 categories, and you can fit everything in your life into those 4 categories. And you don't have to fit them in the way I fit them in, but you can fit everything in your life in those 4 categories. Home. So for me, home is anything to deal with the physical structure of my home, the finances of my home, and anything relating to all of the people that live in my home. All of that goes in home in this season. Health. That's everything for my physical being, my spiritual being, my emotional state. All of that is in health. And then work, business, anything related to my coaching is in that category. And friends is like time to connect. And for me, like that's so reduced in the season, it's actually in health. And so like that burner, because the idea is the less burner, like there's only so much fuel to split between the burners. And so how do you want to have them adjusted? And that if you want to be really successful at something, like you need to focus on one burner at a time. And I'm not saying like you turn the other burners off, but get them down to a simmer. And so like that's with friends, it's down at a simmer to the point where like that's just part of my emotional health is I need to connect with other ladies. So this list is different because I did it from the framework of I'm in this season where I can't do all the things I want to do. And that's always true, but like, it's more true right now. So I can look and go, I have grown because I'm like, no, all those other things, they're just not even on the list right now of all the things I would like to do and think would be cool and whatever. So I can look and I can see growth and I can encourage myself with it instead of beat myself up with it. And all of this stuff would be relevant to this binder over here too. So that's where it's going to go. All right, next, a pen, because it was on the floor. It goes in the drawer. Then I have my planner, and it's part of this doesn't have a home. It travels all over the place. It goes with me when I go my daughter's in preschool and dance. And so when I go, I'm typically working while she's in class. So it goes with me for that. It goes out to the other room so I can try and stay on track and remember the important things I'm supposed to do today. It comes back here if I'm working, so it travels around. So I'm just going to put it in the bag because the next place it's going is to dance with me. Okay. And while I was in my bag getting it ready for dance, I found this notebook, which was my planner till I got that one. And this is just a blank journal. So I was doing the bullet journal, which I really like, but I'm not keeping up on it in this season. And so that one is dated, and it's just a lot simpler to just use that right now instead of feeling like, oh, I wanted to be so much more creative with my bullet journal, and I just don't have it in this season. But I don't need to take it to dance with me, so it goes over here with the other stuff. You'll see I'm really into notebooks as we clean off my desk. With my Bible, it can stay there. I have some stickers because I was trying to make my planner cuter, so I pulled some stickers out. I don't have a home for these. I'm going to put them over by the binder for now. And I have yet another planner. I picked this one up on clearance to try using it as a business planner because I have a tendency to, like, I would just work all the time. I think it's fun. It refreshes me for the most part. And then it also can completely override everything I'm supposed to be doing for my health and my house and my family. So I got a separate planner for it so that I can have I schedule in the times that I'm planning to work after I schedule it in that. And maybe that should be a separate thing, a separate video, but in here is only the stuff related to work. So if I think of something related to work, I kind of need a system still for, like, write it in my other planner or put a note in my phone. If this is handy, write it down in here so that when it's time to work, I pull this out and I know what I'm supposed to do. If it's not time to work, then this is put away, and I'm getting much better at focusing on my health or my family when this is put away. And so this kind of travels between my bag and my desk, or if I work at the dining room table. But so it's going to go in my bag now because, again, I'm going to dance class when I finish this video. All right. Next, Kleenex. Go in the garbage. Oh, Christmas letters, Christmas cards. The ones left in here are for our parents. We didn't do Christmas the way we normally do this year because I normally just hand them their letters at Christmas, and didn't happen this year. So, roll of stamps, they don't belong in here. They belong over there. So I'm going to set them down and put them there when I'm done. The envelopes will also go over there. And I just need to actually deliver their Christmas letters. So I'm going to leave those there so that I can do that. The envelopes go behind my camera too. Christmas letters, like the actual letter that I printed more of that I obviously did not send. So I'm going to give myself the grace to be done with Christmas letters this year. If I missed somebody important, got to remind me next year, I guess. And so these can just be scratch paper. Christmas cards. I bought just simple, cute little Christmas cards because I was going to send one to all of my former clients and current clients. And I just didn't get to it this year. I've had all the health stuff, which part of it manifests in brain fog, way lack of energy and motivation. And so I think I got the addresses. No, I didn't. I got a list of people that I wanted to get addresses for, and that's as far as I got. So these I will put away, and we'll see if next year is a better time to send them. Healthy gut, healthy you. This is part of my health. It does not belong back here. I think I brought it back because it was probably in my stack of notebooks and planners, and I needed to clear off the couch or the table or whatever. So I brought it back. But I'm really liking what this book says. I just got it this week, so I haven't officially started doing what it says, but I'm really liking what it says, and I'm very hopeful that it will get me some better answers. So that's going to go with my notebooks for now, I guess, because it really doesn't have a home. I have my copy of Mist Majesty, probably because I used it on a prop in a video and I didn't put it away. So my copy of Mist Majesty goes on the bookshelf over here. All right. And I have another notebook, another journal. Mainly got this one because I love the way it feels. I love the way the dark gray feels. This is like paint and it's not as wonderful, but this is leather and I love it. I got this one to be like a getting to know myself and a healing journal. And so I can look at it and go, oh, what a failure. Like I got this, started writing in it. I guess I didn't date it, so that helps. So the first date is December 6th. So I probably started writing in it a little before that. So I started writing in December. It's now January. And I have I don't know, looks like 5 entries in something that was like, oh, I'm going to write every day and so I can look at it as a failure of like, no, you haven't written anywhere near every day. You haven't written every week. Or I can say, I'm trying. I made the effort. I have the intention. And what would it take for me to be able to write every day? Well, it would take a change in system, a change in how I'm spending my time. So that I can look, is it realistic for me to write in this every day when I don't have a consistent morning routine? And part of why I don't have a consistent morning routine is because, like I said, I'm sleeping in just because I feel like I need the rest more than I need the structure right now, but I'm feeling like that needs to shift. But so some mornings I wake up and I have 2 hours before my first call. And so I can like go through the things I need to do in my day and eat breakfast and start laundry and have quiet time and do all these things. And there's other days I wake up a half hour or 20 minutes before my first call and I just need to get dressed and get awake so I can show up. And then like the rest of the day, there's meals to get ready and classes to get to. And, so it's like, is it realistic to fit in this writing project every day right now? No. So I'm trying, but if it's something I want to do more, then I need to sit down and evaluate what I am doing with my time and decide what can go so that I can make room for this. And so I hope this is helping to see that, like, look at things differently. And we tend to avoid, like, look at this and like, oh, I can see this, and it just means I'm not working hard enough on my stress management and emotional health. So, like, it's just discouraging and hard. Or can look at it as like, well, maybe that was an idea that just wasn't really working that well. Or maybe it's an idea that needs to be tweaked. Maybe I need a daily prompt, or maybe I need something more targeted rather than just sit down and write every day. Or maybe it's that I need the time. But to look at it, and instead of like, oh, I just failed that, I don't want to look at that, bring it closer and be like, okay, is this important to me? Is this something I want in my life right now? And if it is, what needs to shift so that I can make it a part of my life right now? Okay. And so for now, let's see, trying to decide, is it realistic that I would use it during dance class today? Yeah, I can start my time at dance class in this, and then I can move on to my work. So I'm going to put it in my bag. All right, my desk is looking much better, except I see I missed the Christmas stuff. Fortunately, I have not taken the big tote of Christmas decorations out of the house yet, so these need to get in there before I do that. And then, oh, here's another. What does it say? December 25th. It's been a month since I've changed my cute little calendar. And there are times I come back and see that and I let it like punch me in the gut of like, why did I spend? And really, I spent $3 or $4 on it. Like, so it's not a lot. And I like it. You know, it fits with like my seaside stuff, my lighthouse. And when I use it, I like that I use it. But when my desk gets buried like that, like I said in my journaling, my prayer journal, that means I'm not taking care of myself. So when I'm using it, I'm coming back early enough to change my calendar. And I'm putting things away. And so rather than beating myself up, just have it be a sign of like, oh, you're not allowing yourself the time you need to do the things you like to do. And part of me is like, that just seems so silly and ridiculous. Like, what difference does it make if you have this little sign telling you what day it is? But I like it. I think it's cute. And so it's okay that I like it and think it's cute, and that I take 30 seconds or a minute or whatever it is to get it sorted to the right day, even if it's only going to be for a few minutes. And so I can let that thinking come in too, that, well, it's not worth it because like I'm back here for an hour to do this one call. And then, oh, it's not Tuesday anymore. It's Thursday. Okay, I'm back here for this one call, and then like, because my time working is away from home usually. So like, I'm not back here every day. Sorry. So I'm not back here every day. So does it make sense to try and keep up on it and whatever? It doesn't matter if it makes sense. I like it. I can allow myself a minute. Like that could be part of my getting into work mode when I come back. I'm going to set my calendar. I'm going to be in the mindset for whatever it is I need to do, instead of beating myself up because it wasn't already changed. So it has to get changed sometime. And it doesn't work for me to change it when I'm done working to the next day because, well, it could work kind of. But say I change it for tomorrow, but then I don't come back and work here again until Tuesday. Well, I still have to change it at the beginning of Tuesday because I'm not going to come back here and change it every day. But just look at the stuff around your house, in your space. What are you letting it tell you about yourself? And how could you change the conversation? So over here, like you can still see, I have more papers. Oh, this is a sticker, the back of a sticker page from one of my daughter's books. So that's garbage. Let's see. This was an insurance quote that doesn't even belong in this room. So we're going to set it over here to be put where it does belong. Okay, so this is a symptom tracker that I created because dealing with the health stuff I've been dealing with, it's like you need to track your symptoms, and I have not been successful at that. And like, well, are you feeling better or are you feeling worse? Like, I don't know. Like, I think I feel better, but it's all just too arbitrary and whatever. So I tried putting my main frustrating symptoms down the side and then did 0 to 5. Yeah, 0 to 5 for a scale of like 0 is perfect. I'm not dealing with these symptoms at all. 5 being like they're taking me out. I think I used it one day. So I need to sit with that in prayer. Be like, is this something important for me to do, Lord? If it is, how do I build this habit? If it's not, I let it go. But I need to do it in prayer and in his presence, because if I just think about it, I just argue with myself. I don't know. Let me know if you do that too. Do you argue with yourself? Because I can see like, yes, it's valuable. I need to do this. Helpful information on like how foods affect me and things. Good for my self-awareness to be paying attention to this. And then there's the other side that I argue back of like, but this just has me focusing on my symptoms all the time, which is not what I want to focus on because I don't want more of it. And it's depressing. So I just argue with myself. So I need to, in prayer, in the Lord's presence, get his perspective and his wisdom on that. So I'm going to stick that with my prayer journal. Okay, all of this paperwork is a very handy, practical guide to building habits and routines to keep your house clean. Called 21 Days to a Clean Home by The Secret Slob. And what's there's two things together here. I'm trying to remember what the other is called. The Whole Home Cleaning Printable Package was the other part that I got. And it takes like all the places you need to clean, and like it just helps you set up a system where if you followed the system, your house would be clean relatively on autopilot. I have not followed through. So I can look at this and be like, it was another great idea. Like, why can't I do that? It's really simple. It's all laid out for me. But instead, I mean, that still happens. Like, that's the automatic. I don't have to think about that response. That's the one that comes. But when I recognize that one comes and be like, no, I tried to do this. I still think it's a good idea, but it hasn't been my focus because the effort has been going into relationships. The effort has been going into catching my thinking when it rises up and tells me that I'm awful and stupid and failure and never do anything right, to flipping that and, looking at like, what's the reality? The reality is it takes time to learn things. The reality is I am trying. And so Like that's where my effort has been going, not into cleaning my house. My house is not clean. My house has never been clean. It's not a skill set I learned growing up. And so I can just have I didn't learn how to maintain a clean house. I learned how to clean a house, but it was crisis cleaning because it had gotten to a level of mess that mom couldn't stand anymore, or we had company coming. And so I learned how to clean, but did not learn how to maintain a clean home. And I'm not blaming my mom. She probably didn't learn how to maintain a clean home either. They had a farm and both their parents worked full time and lots of siblings, and like she probably didn't learn it either. So how would she teach me? But I'm grateful that I live in a day and age where we have YouTube. And so this lady who has learned to maintain a clean home has put it in a very simple system that if I keep practicing and I keep trying, I can learn how to do it too. And like my older kids won't have the benefit of maintaining a clean home. Some of them have it more naturally than others, but it's up to them if they choose they want to learn that or not. But then I still have a 4-year-old at home. And so as I learn this, she can learn it with me and she will grow up knowing how to maintain a clean home. And I think, trying to decide where I'm going to put this, because I do intend to come back to it when I have when I start getting up at a consistent time and have that morning routine. So as it'll go with this binder too. But so if you can look at your emotions, well, what's that automatic thing that rises up in you when you see something that frustrates you, you're disappointed you didn't get done? But see, what else is it telling you about yourself? Is it just like, oh, I need to remember that, write it down to do, and it's not a big deal? Or does it send you on this downward spiral of never being good enough and I can't do anything right? And I don't know why I even try. And whatever the stories in that shame storm, I like to call it, are for you. If that shame storm is coming up and like where you don't see your way out of it, start putting down those thoughts on paper so that you can take them one at a time and work through them. And if it's something that like you just can't see, like sorting through that shame storm and disarming that shame storm of where those things came from so that you can see when it comes up like, oh, no, that's just my program thinking. That's just what I've always been told. That's not what I really think. And you can quickly dismiss it, or like, does it stir up that whole shame storm and you get lost in it? Working through that is what I do in my coaching. Is what we do in the Emotionally Healthy Moms Club. So reach out to me and let me know, was watching me clean off my desk and process through flipping the thoughts helpful? Does it raise questions for you? I would love to know, and I'll see you in the next video.